tonight at Gamehaven, where you get more for your games, which is a nice thing about Gamehaven. We bring you the next in our series of live Friday Night Magic. We have Kurtis Frazier playing Bruce Jivens. Kurtis is playing some variant of the Hexproof deck that was kind of popular last standard. He lost a lot of cards, but he's confident that he can still put something together and work. By the way, I'm Ryan. This is Noah, joining me for the first time here in the booth.
Hello.
Bruce is known locally for playing Blue-White Control, and that is exactly what he's playing right now.
Excellent.
So what we have here to start with is that an Ordeal of Thassa?
Must have been an Ordeal, because it got a counter.
Yeah, as a Glade Cover Scout enchanted with an Ordeal of Thassa. And that is a main deck Ratchet Bomb that Bruce fires back with.
Yes.
So we're playing Magic the Gathering right now. That is a temple.
That looks like a temple.
Yeah. So
here comes another counter.
I kind of like that. I like that a lot.
Yes.
That's cool. It's like a turbo curiosity. It makes your guy big. And the counters stay. Something I didn't realize with the Ordeals is that the counters go on the creature. Yes, and they stay after the Ordeal's sacrificed. So they actually seem fairly decent, some of them.
They're close to good.
Yeah.
Close to good.
I had someone play one against me when I was playing Monterey. They played the white one and gained 10 life, and it was insane.
Yes.
It was not where I wanted to be.
No.
So Bruce's plan is to take up that Ratchet Bomb and possibly pop it right here.
Because this monster is a 3/3.
Yes.
If he doesn't, he would have drawn 2 cards off of that Ordeal.
Right, exactly. And then just because it looks like Kurtis is missing another threat, which is kind of the problem, or was the problem traditionally, with these hexproof decks, is they had to play so many enchantments that they couldn't play many creatures. And so if your opponent did have the sweeper or whatever, sometimes you just have a handful of enchantments and you die. So we'll see if Kurtis can get around that. There's a lot of interesting things he could be playing. Bruce is cycling in Azurius Charm that isn't going to do much else in this particular matchup.
That is correct.
A lot of interesting cards that Kurtis could be playing. He could be playing Bestow Creatures.
What do we have here?
That looks like a Frostburn Weird. No, it is not. It costs 3. Joe, could we get an update on what that card is?
I think it is a Frostborn. I think that came into play tap.
Oh, yeah, okay. That would make sense.
What do we have here? Is it a Witch Stalker? It must be a Witch Stalker.
That is a Witch Stalker for sure.
And
it has an Ethereal Armor and an Ethereal Armor.
Double Armor.
That is a 7/7 Witch Stalker.
No big deal.
And that is an immediate Supreme Verdict.
Supreme Verdict.
And we are back to square one.
Yes.
I feel like Kurtis is in trouble in this matchup.
I think so too.
Bruce has main deck Ratchet Bombs. He probably has all 4 Supreme Verdicts. Like, he just is not the matchup Kurtis. Kurtis will have to play all these green mid-range decks.
And here comes Aetherling.
Yep, alright. Now we've entered the end game.
This would be, yes, the finisher.
Man, Aetherling is so good in these kind of decks because they let some counter a spell or two, sweep the board once, and then just get you dead.
Yes.
No more of this taking 20 turns after you stabilize, milling you out with Nephalia Drown Yard. It's like, no, 2 turns later, you're just dead.
Yes.
That is a good Magic card.
This is a similar card to a previously released Morphling, which kind of owned the environment at the time.
Yeah, I think it's actually probably more objectively powerful than Morphling.
Oh, head-to-head, most certainly.
Because you can actually blink this guy out and then Wrath.
Blink, Wrath, he's back and ready for action.
Yeah.
That's pretty devastating.
So Kurtis is just dead here.
That was a big Sphinx's Revelation from Bruce.
Yep.
It's like he got 4, maybe 5.
Which means he probably has some counter spells and whatever else he wants right now.
He's got a handful of business.
That is a charm.
He says, sure.
I mean,
not looking good for Kurtis.
No.
Unless his deck shifts gears right here.
You know, and I wonder... We'll let the game play. I was going to talk about what he might have in his sideboard, but we'll see how this game ends before we completely call it dead. That is a Divination.
Yes.
You know, not the flashiest card in the world, but we need to draw cards. You know, it's been getting the job done for a long time.
That's right. Take what you can get. Here it comes.
Kurtis is brawling.
He says, give me my Caryatid.
Caryatid is an interesting one.
It attacks 4/0.
Yep. And it can't block the Aetherling.
Can't block. It now cannot block.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Are we making a wolf here? No, he is exiling. He's fogging, basically. Nope. And that's a dissolve, which is so good. Like, man, cancel was like a borderline playable card in this format, and like it's like let's just take that and give you some card selection.
Yeah.
That's just a nice little bonus.
Dissolve is a really nice card.
Yeah. And Kurtis has seen enough.
There you go.
So, we didn't get to talk about it too much before, because, again, we didn't know exactly when we were going live. But once again, I'm Ryan Johnsen.
Mm-hmm. I'm Noah Ross.
This is Noah Ross. Noah is coming to the booth for the first time here at Dayton Magic Club. And he is last week's winner of FNM.
Yay.
We can talk about that a little bit as the night goes on.
Very good.
You know, if we see maybe a little bit of that deck, if we see anything that you played, you know, what
Hopefully.
thoughts?
Hopefully everyone read the article.
Yeah. DaytonMagicClubwebsite.com.
That's right.
So this matchup probably doesn't get a lot better for Kurtis after board.
Highly
Bruce
unlikely.
has access to potentially more sweepers, but though probably not much.
I think I saw a glare.
He's going to be taking out targeted removal, and he's going to bring in
blind obedience.
Yeah, I like Glare
Good choice.
Heresy.
Yes.
You can snipe a lot of the creature enchantments with it.
Absolutely.
You can get Unflinching Courage. You can get the big one, which is Ethereal Armor.
Yeah, that's a good one to kill.
Now, as to what Kurtis has access to, I would be surprised if he did not have some amount of something like Rootborn Defenses,
Let's hope.
which actually is pretty good.
Absolutely.
You don't need to hit that many times is the thing. He's going to be on the play.
No.
If he curves out, gets a big guy down, Bruce wraths on time right into a... what were we just talking about?
Rootborn defenses.
Rootborn defenses. And then Kurtis untaps, and maybe he has a chance to just kill him.
Yes.
So, I mean, there are lines here, so
Absolutely.
that's something I would definitely want access to.
I don't know it, but he may be playing Voice of Resurgence also.
He might be. And that would be a good one.
That would be
If
just
he
great.
doesn't have Boon Satyrs in the main,
Which he probably does.
which he probably does. We didn't see it that game, but Boon Satyr, like, again, just lets you keep that pressure up.
Exactly.
Either by bestowing it on a hexproof guy and letting it stick around as a 4-power threat after a Wrath, or end of turn flashing it in when Bruce is tapped out after a Wrath, and just untapping and chanting it and getting right back in the red zone. So, in this matchup, it's probably not as dire for Kurtis as it looked at first.
Yes.
It's still not good.
No, this is not an optimal matchup at all. But with a well-timed Rootborn defenses or a well-timed Boon Satyr, it could be the difference.
And backed by an aggressive curve. A lot of things have to go right for Kurtis to win this game, I think. Bruce could theoretically have Wrath on 4, and then like just a really powerful follow-up, and the game could just be over. But it's also possible that Bruce has to spend some cantrips, spend some draw spells to find that first Wrath, and that Kurtis manages to get his life total low enough that a flash creature just can put the game away.
Exactly.
So I think that's how you want that game to go if you're Kurtis. You really have to evaluate that. Now, this deck doesn't typically, the old version, didn't particularly mulligan well.
No.
Because you had to have, you had to get to that couple of lands with a mix of 3 colors. You had to get a hexproof creature and at least 1 enchantment. So it's a pretty specific mix of lands and spells that you needed to have a capable hand. But with that said, you really have to evaluate your hand down a game in a matchup that's not favorable. It's got to be aggressive. More than anything else, you want that hand to come out of the gate as fat. Now, he was aggressive that game. He had the 1-drop with the enchantment on it. It didn't get there. But you still, that's your only hope, I think.
Absolutely.
You got to hope that Bruce doesn't have the Ratchet Bomb on 2.
That was key. That was huge.
That was huge.
Otherwise, it would have been... Yeah, his ordeal would have went off. He would have had 2 more cards. His guy would have still been alive, and then you could have put those 2 ethereal armor on him.
Right, and the game would have been like 2 or 3 turns faster.
Yes,
which may have been enough.
Yeah, and Bruce has no blockers apparently.
Yeah, so
it doesn't look like he's playing any way to stop him early.
Yoked Ox, or
I didn't see Yoked Ox. Yeah, he may have brought some in. I don't know.
Omen Speaker is another possibility.
Exactly. Bruce has options. But we didn't see him there.
We did not see him there.
And it's highly possible that he doesn't have
and
it.
That's what you want if you're Kurtis.
Okay, perfect. If you're Kurtis, that's what you want to see. And now he needs to play a land.
Yeah.
He doesn't play a land.
Okay.
Okay.
No enchantment is
Swinging
not
for one
great.
is not where you want to be.
Now, was that a temple?
It's got to be a temple.
I didn't see him scry. I may have just missed it.
Yeah, he may have.
What do we got here?
Oh, we got a spear.
Ooh.
Spear. Swinging for 2.
I kind of like spear. It's not particularly good here because you don't get to use both modes.
Exactly.
But in like a mid-rangey kind of deck where they only have a couple, like a smiter or something, it really feels like a great way to... Oh, well, there goes the spear.
Yeah.
But in general, I think it's probably a pretty good Magic card.
It's really good. It works well with Ethereal Armor.
Yeah.
It makes your guys 1 bigger, which is effective.
Yes.
A 1/4 carry did is way better than an 0/3.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Way better.
Because it actually... There's that Ethereal Armor,
Boom.
which...
So in this case, instead of swinging for 5, he's swinging for 2.
Right, exactly.
This is a good move by Bruce.
Yes. That spear seems real good in this deck.
Boom.
That is that Frostburn Weird.
Uh-oh.
Which you started to see a little bit. I like it a lot. It's got a huge toughness to block, and then when you stabilize and turn the corner, it's got a huge power to attack with. Like it's really a pretty good...
Ooh, what's that?
That is a... Gift of Orzhov? Is that a Gift of Orzhov?
It looks like a Gift of Orzhov, yes.
Okay. That one hasn't seen as much, yes, thank you, Joe, as play after the printing of Unflinching Courage.
Right.
But the flying is really relevant here.
It's very relevant. Unflinching Courage would have gotten him nowhere.
Nope.
Well,
he would have been able to chew through that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. There's the Wrath.
Yeah, that'll do it.
How much do you like the Kargatid in this deck?
Not at all.
No?
No. Although it's fine if he has mana problems, then it's fine. I don't know what his top end looks like.
Yeah, it's true. He could be going a little bigger bestow cost, maybe.
Exactly. So he just played another Carried. I mean, and if he next turn plays like, I don't know.
Oh, he didn't have double green, so he actually could not play that Caryatid. But we know he has another Caryatid. Interesting thing about the Caryatid, might not be for this matchup. It's probably pretty good. What is that?
What do we have here?
Let's hope it is a Master of Waves.
It's a Master of Waves.
So Bruce is a little more beat down than we originally gave him credit for. Or maybe this came out of the board.
I almost think it did because that brings a pile of blockers.
Yep. But that is certainly a powerful card. I don't know if anyone that's watching this particular footage watched the Pro Tour at all, but Master of Waves made a big splash, which was an unintentional pun. But I'll take it. At the Pro Tour, it was very, very good.
An effective pun.
The only undefeateds at the Pro Tour today were playing Master of Waves decks. Also, really good at Frostburn Weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes, Elemental. Very good.
And double Devotion. Costs 2 colored mana.
Yep, absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, like, that's pretty good.
Yep.
So now Kurtis is back to being in a little bit of trouble. His only creature that he has is Ratchet Bombable.
Yes.
Now, that Spear is pretty good at sniping off that Master of Waves that ever attacks, but the problem for Kurtis is he can't put enough pressure from this position to force that Master of Waves to do anything.
And Bruce says that's fine.
That's fine. I'll just draw a bunch of cards.
Relation for 3. 1, 2, 3. He says, awesome. And just like every other turn, he's going to get a draw step.
Yep.
And he's going to have a handful of cards.
He is going to have that.
Bruce is choosy. Got a lot of land out there.
And he does attack with the Master of Waves.
He says, let's do it. Let's do it. He's at 12. Almost certainly hit another Sphinx's Revelation.
Yes.
He's pretty aggressive with that attack.
That attack is pretty aggressive.
Yes. Considering.
It seems like you just want to spear that Master Waves right off the table.
Yep. Unless he's got some end of turn tech, but oh dear.
Oh my.
That's going to make life much harder.
Oh, that's a good Magic card.
Yeah, that is.
It took a while for Jace to really find a home.
Yeah.
You saw a lot of people play it last rotation, but there was...
Oh,
yep.
There he speared it. Boom. And there you go.
But it's definitely found a home now.
Yeah.
With the rotation.
Yes.
I think its stock is only going up. I know as a mono red player, card can be a real nightmare.
Yeah, it can be a pain. I think that the previous standard had too many other choices to make it good. And
I agree with that.
Tamio was fantastic.
It also had things like Falkenrath Aristocrat.
And Falkenrath Aristocrat,
probably more relevant, the Thundermaw Hellkite, which you could play Jace, plus it up, your opponent could untap, and just kill Jace right off the table.
No fun.
That's gone. Now we have Stormbreath Dragon, which cannot do that.
Exactly.
And there's Aetherling. So we've entered, once again, the end game.
I doubt that Kurtis has any real answer for Aetherling at this point.
I mean, there really isn't one, right? I mean, there just isn't.
I don't think there is. Unless you Pithing Needle or something along those lines would be effective.
Another ordeal. Pithing Needle would be fine if the fact that it had that body, it's already just huge.
Yes, it is still a 4/5.
Yep.
Which can block.
Oh, count the spear, absolutely.
Count the spear. What do we have here? Is that an ordeal?
Yes, that's an ordeal of Thassa.
What was that?
What did Kurtis just cast?
What was that? Mending something or other?
Mending Touch. Okay. It is a Magic the Gathering card. It regenerates, and you may scry.
Regenerate scry.
Nope, okay. We're so good at this. But Jace is just doing his work.
Yeah, Jace, Aethling out on the table at the same time. This can not go well. Ooh.
Bruce is a madman, and he is playing just apparently all kinds of Aetherlings.
He says he doesn't even care.
He's not playing the one Aetherling.
He says one. No, bring a friend.
Population Kurtis Frazier.
Kurtis is looking over his hand here.
Looking for any kind of hope.
Begging and pleading. What is that?
It doesn't matter. It's gone. Never resolved.
Poor guy.
Oh, an Ascended Lawmage.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of your new Geist of Saint Draft-ish. Your big finisher kind of card.
I mean,
Kurtis has seen enough. He is dead.
Comparable.
So that went about how I kind of expected it. We thought that Kurtis maybe had a long shot. He had a game plan he could execute. But he did not get there.
No. Bruce drew well and played well.
He had the early Ratchet Bomb backed up by the Wrath of God, backed up by the Sphinx's Revelation. Went really a lot how we saw Game 1 go. A lot of answers to Kurtis' Hexproof guys. And Kurtis just didn't have a way to punch through, some sort of recursive damage.
Exactly.
Just couldn't get there. Kurtis has been on the legendary 0-1 drop train for the past couple of weeks. So he's just trying some new things out in Standard. He played Mono Red last week. He played this Hexproof deck this week. It's a pretty experimental time.
Exactly. We got a new Standard, so there's the basic framework has not been laid.
Yep.
It's kind of wide open.
We'll see, what the Pro Tour gives us. This weekend will be, I think, where a lot of people start looking at the format, the baseline.
We've only had a couple large tournaments in Standard since the rotation.
I don't know if there's something to this Hexproof deck. There very well could be.
There could
have better matchups than this, certainly. There's probably this blue-white deck. Some version of blue-white is probably going to be one of the Standard pillars. And we'll just sort of see how it shakes out.
Yeah, this the blue-white control deck has had significant success since the rotation, which is almost typical. Almost after every rotation,
you have your fastest aggro deck, and your most anti-aggro control deck are typically duking it out. And then this rotation, we've also seen the rise of that green-white aggro deck, which is fast enough to beat the control decks, but big enough to beat the mono-red deck. So we'll see a lot of that play out tonight. There's plenty of the green-white deck in the room. There's plenty of mono-red, and there's at least some of this blue-white control. Stick with us. Check back for round 2 here at the Game Haven, presented by Dayton Magic Club Live. I'm Ryan Johnsen. This is Noah Ross.
Have a good
first time that they can't see you wave. You have to.
Hello.
And we're going to go out for this round, and we'll be right back with round 2. Thanks.